Welcome to Go Math Lesson 13.3. Today we are finding the area of combined rectangles, or the area of an irregular shape here. And remember, the biggest thing to remember is that we only know how to find the area of a rectangle at this point. And remember, a square is a rectangle, so that fits in with our formula. Yesterday we used area equals base times height, and we're going to use that again today. But if you take a look at the shape we're given, it's not just a rectangle, but I can break it into two rectangles. So if I draw this line down here, I've got this shape here, shape A, and I have shape B, both of which are rectangles. Now I know how to find an area of a rectangle, but the one thing that might give students a little difficulty is figuring out what the base is and what the height is, because we have all of these numbers to deal with. So let's take a look at shape A. We can see that its height is 9. And this arrow right here is pointing to this, and this is telling me that it is 8 across. So this first one is an 8 by 9, and 9 times 8 is 72. So that takes care of that one. And one of the things I like to have the students do is actually write in the 72 here. Now when I look at rectangle B, I need to ignore rectangle A, and I need to ignore some of the dimensions here. You can see that the 24 here goes all the way across, but I've taken off shape A, so I can't use that measurement. So I tell the kids to cover up the shape that you've taken off with your finger or a piece of paper so that it eliminates some of the distraction here. So I can see that the base of this shape here is 16 and the height is 17. Remember, the height is perpendicular to the base. Now I'm going to do my work over here, and I'm going to do 16 times 17. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 11. I'll start with my 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. I'll add my two partial products, and I'll get 2, 7, 2. So 272 for this one, and I like to write it in. And now I know I'm going to combine these two areas to find the total area, so I'll find the sum. So 72 plus 272, and again, do it on the side. Don't try to do big things like this in your head. 2 plus 2 is 4, 7 plus 7 is 14, so 344 square feet. So remember, you're breaking it into smaller pieces and then you're going to put them back together. When you break things up, they have to be broken into rectangles. Another way to look at this is to find the area of the whole rectangle, the whole outside, and then take off that little piece that we don't want to look at. So let's look at the dimensions of the whole outside. This is where I'm going to use the 24 right here. 24 is my base, and my height is this side, which is 17. And again, I can't do that in my head, so I'll go over to the side and I'll do 24 times 17. 4 times 7 is 28. 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 is 16. Start with a 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Add my partial products. 8, 10, 408. Okay, now I need to find the area of this. This is 408, but I'm taking out this little box right here. So the dimensions of that, by my arrows here, both sides are 8. So 8 times 8 is 64. And so now I'm taking that 64, and I'm going to put it in a different color because I'm actually taking that out. That's not part of my shaded area. Okay, so now I have 408 minus 64, and if I do 408 minus 64, 8 minus 4 is 4, 10 minus 6 is 4, and we have 3. We end up with 344, which was what we got when we did it by adding. So you have a choice. You can find the two small rectangles and put them together, or you can find the big rectangle and take out the part that we're not talking about. Okay, I just want to show you another page just to show you something about taking things apart. This morning I had some students who want to draw this shape and cut it here. And I said to them, what do we know how to find the area of? And they said, a rectangle. And I said, is this a rectangle? And is this a rectangle? And they said, no. And I said, then you can't break it apart like that. Even though that would be, what they liked, I think, was that they were two equal things, so they'd only have to find the area of one and not the other. But this one would either have to be broken across this way and find the area of this one, and this one, or I could break it up this way. Sorry, my pen doesn't quite line up, and find the area of this space, then this space, then this space, and add them together. Or I could use the subtracting method, and I could find the area of the whole shape here using my 16 and my 8. And then I could subtract off this inside area that I don't want. The only thing, we have to be really careful to find those dimensions. That would be an 8, and this arrow is saying that this spot right here is a 4. So I would take off the 8 times 4, or 32, to do that one. So you can break the shapes up into different places. Kind of pay attention to what dimensions you have that are easy. Like number 6 here, we knew this little 4 here, so I suggested that they break it this way, because now I have the 15 and the 4, and I have the 30 and the 16, and I didn't have to figure out any sides. Remember, find the area of rectangles, and I always want to see the formula, area equals base times height, and then the next line we substitute it in. It's really good habit to show all your work. I hope that these things help.